Night driving is not just darker. In these 9 cities, it becomes a different game. More theft exposure, worse visibility, confusing signage, forced slowdowns put you in the wrong place at the wrong time. Stay to the end because the #1 city looks completely normal at night. That is exactly why people drop their guard. I am ranking repeating patterns using 4 factors. For each city, you will get the core risk, the warning signals, and the one mistake that gets people in trouble. Comment your state in the one city you refuse to drive through at night. I will build part 2 from your answers. City number 9, Oakland, California. Oakland sits across the bay from San Francisco, but the nighttime reality here is very different. Transit points become risk points. The primary risk is robbery and vehicle theft, and public crime data shows these rank among the highest for mid-sized cities nationwide. The secondary issue is dark zones near transit stations and confusing freeway transitions. Signal 1, stop zone pressure near BART stations and commercial corridors. Signal 2, visibility failures around transit hubs and residential side streets. Signal 3, confusion traps from highway merges that cause hesitation. Locals will not warn you. They just never leave anything visible in their cars. The mistake to avoid is pulling over to take a call in a low-visibility residential area. The next city is worse because infrastructure decay spreads across entire zones. City number 8, New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans is the Big Easy, jazz, culture, history, but navigating this city at night is anything but easy. Detours are the hidden hazard. The primary risk is carjacking and armed robbery, which, despite recent drops, remain elevated. The secondary issue is the city itself, with narrow streets, poor lighting in historic areas, and sudden flooding that creates unexpected reroutes. Signal 1, stop zone pressure in corridors outside main tourist zones. Signal 2, visibility failures from narrow historic streets with inconsistent lighting. Signal 3, confusion traps from weather detours that push you into unfamiliar territory. Locals won't explain why. They just avoid nighttime stops outside well-lit main corridors. The mistake is parking far from entrances in dimly lit lots. The next city is worse because crime metrics jump significantly higher. City number 7, Stockton, California. Stockton looks like any Central Valley city in daylight. At night, the risk changes fast. This city punishes hesitation. The primary risk is nighttime theft around common stop points, parking lots, late-night service stations, and areas where you are forced to slow down. The secondary issue is poor visibility in industrial corridors where lighting and lane markings are inconsistent. Signal 1, stop zone pressure near downtown and southeastern commercial areas. Signal 2, visibility failures from dark stretches and faded lane markings. Signal 3, confusion traps from inconsistent signage that force last-second decisions. Locals will not explain it. They will just say, "Do not stop unless you have to." The mistake is pulling over to check directions in a low-visibility area. The next city is worse because aging infrastructure creates blind spots across entire neighborhoods. City number 6, Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland has history and pride, but at night, certain parts of this city tell a different story. Old infrastructure creates modern risk. The primary risk is property crime and assault, which public reports show consistently rank high for mid-sized cities. The secondary issue is outdated infrastructure, intersections without modern signage, and residential grids with inconsistent lighting. Signal 1, stop zone pressure around east side corridors and older commercial strips. Signal 2, visibility failures from aging streetlights and dark residential pockets. Signal 3, confusion traps from grid layouts that disorient unfamiliar drivers. Locals won't warn you directly. They simply avoid street ATMs after dark. The mistake is taking shortcuts through unfamiliar residential streets at night. The next city is worse because geography isolates you from help. City number 5, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Albuquerque has stunning desert views, but when that sun goes down, the risk profile changes dramatically. Distance and darkness multiply exposure. The primary risk is violent crime and vehicle theft, which public safety data shows consistently rank well above national averages. The secondary issue is suburban sprawl, poorly lit roads, and confusing interstate exits. Signal 1, stop zone pressure near major interstate exits and isolated service stations. Signal 2, visibility failures from dark suburban stretches between safe zones. Signal 3, confusion traps from exit signage that forces last-second lane changes. Locals will not debate it. They fill their tanks before sunset. The mistake is stopping at isolated gas stations near interstate exits late at night. The next city is worse because the environment itself becomes unpredictable. Quick reality check. Some cities are risky because of people. Others are risky because the streets themselves create danger. The worst cities stack both. The next 6 do exactly that. City number 4, Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore has the inner harbor and a rich history. But step outside the tourist zones at night, and it becomes a different city. The safety line moves block by block. The primary risk is robbery and carjacking, and public safety data shows these often rank among the highest per capita nationally. The secondary issue is aging infrastructure with deteriorated lighting and worn signage throughout older neighborhoods. Signal 1, stop zone pressure around north and west side corridors. Signal 2, visibility failures from aging streetlights that create unpredictable dark zones. Signal 3, confusion traps from worn signage and unfamiliar layouts. Locals will not give you a map. They plan routes that stay on well-lit main roads. The mistake is using street-level ATMs at night outside commercial areas. The next city is worse because entire sections have essentially collapsed. If your city is on this list and you disagree, tell me in the comments. The top 3 combine everything. City number 3, Detroit, Michigan. Detroit is the Motor City, an American icon. But driving here at night requires a different kind of awareness. When lighting disappears, your margin disappears. The primary risk is robbery and assault, with public safety assessments showing large portions of the city are higher risk after dark. The secondary issue is infrastructure collapse, in vast areas with deficient lighting and missing street signage entirely. Signal 1, stop zone pressure around industrial corridors and certain intersections. Signal 2, visibility failures from massive lighting gaps that create complete darkness. Signal 3, confusion traps from missing signage that forces dangerous improvisation. Locals won't debate routes. They reduce exposure by planning ahead and sticking to well-lit main roads. The mistake is taking what looks like a faster route through industrial zones. Next city is worse because unpredictability can trap you even if you did not plan to stop. City number 2, St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis has the Gateway Arch, an iconic landmark. But the gateway closes after dark in ways you need to understand. The danger is getting stuck, not just stopping. The primary risk is violent crime, with public data showing homicide and robbery rates that consistently rank among the highest per capita. The secondary issue is chaos. Informal street takeovers that can block intersections without warning, trapping unfamiliar drivers. Signal 1, stop zone pressure around north side corridors and commercial areas. Signal 2, visibility failures from irregular lighting throughout higher risk zones. Signal 3, confusion traps from sudden intersection blockages that leave you boxed in. Locals won't tell you which streets. They just stay on main corridors and avoid high-risk areas entirely after dark. The mistake is getting caught at a blocked intersection and freezing, but the number 1 city is worse because it hides everything behind a mask of normalcy. Number 1, Memphis, Tennessee. This is the kind of city people describe as quiet at night. Normal, nothing special. Normal-looking streets create a false sense of confidence. Memphis consistently appears at or near the top of violent crime rankings nationwide, according to FBI data and public safety reports. It frequently ranks among the most dangerous for pedestrians. Multi-lane avenues see high-speed traffic that creates constant risk. And lighting issues are widespread enough to matter across the entire metro area. Signal 1, stop zone pressure throughout south, north, and east corridors around service stations and intersections. Signal 2, visibility failures from citywide lighting deficiencies that mask danger. Signal 3, confusion traps from high-speed arterials that force sudden decisions. Locals won't give you a speech. They just minimize nighttime driving and plan every stop in advance. The mistake is thinking downtown is safe because it looks calm. Memphis is number 1 because it stacks every risk signal. including stop pressure, poor visibility, and confusion traps behind streets that look ordinary. And the most dangerous thing about an ordinary-looking street at night is how fast you let your guard down. Quick question before you go. Would you rather drive through your city at 2 a.m. or stop for gas at 2 a.m.? Pick one and tell me why. If you want part 2, comment stop zones. Tell me the city you think should have been number 1 and why. Subscribe if you want to see it.